All right, here we go. I feel like you are going to be able to help me a lot with these notes. Complementary angles, like I feel like you already know what that is. Okay. Stella, you were acting like you really did remember this. No?
I do.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Complementary angles are two and only two angles that add up to, Jonah?
90.
It's 1. They both have to be straight angles.
I was guessing. Okay.
90 degrees. Oh my God, did you say that?
I said that. But you didn't know.
I'm sorry, there's a lot happening right now. Okay. Supplementary angles are two angles that, yes, Keegan, add to 180. Now, obviously, you all are struggling to remember which is which. I'll give you a little trick. They're in alphabetical order. Complementary is smaller. Supplementary is bigger.
No, they have
I feel like, okay, I had a meme about complementary angles. Okay. Are you ready? A what? Yeah. You're the first one to notice it. Yes. Okay, so first of all,
I don't get it. Oh my gosh, compliment. I get it. I get it.
okay. Now, Layla just pointed something else out. You all have been in here for 2.5 weeks. And Layla just discovered that I have a shelf back there that is a box and whisker plot.
Oh, I get it. I don't think over there.
Oh, probably. All right, now we're back on track. And adjacent, two angles that are adjacent are angles that share a side. Angles that share a side. You don't like that? It's all coming back.
It's not all coming back.
Yep. Okay. Here we go. Adjacent angles are angles that share the same side. So I drew a picture here. Angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent. Why, you ask? Because they share the side BC. Okay. So adjacent means right next to, okay? My room is adjacent to Miss Rue's room, okay? Now, in terms of angles, angles are adjacent. They're right next to each other if they have a side that they're sharing, okay? So in that picture, 1 and 2 are adjacent. They're right next to each other because BC is their common side. just like this wall is a common wall between me and Miss Rue. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a linear pair, probably referring to how many angles? Two. Linear makes you think of?
Straight.
Okay. These two angles form a linear pair. They are adjacent and what's another way to describe that? Supplementary. Thank you, Layla. Some of you really don't care about your test on Friday. Some of you do. Some of you don't right now. What? Why is that what?
Why is that different than supplementary?
It's not. Supplementary just means two angles that add up to 180. A linear pair is special because they're supplementary and adjacent. Like I could say that like these two angles are supplementary, but they're not adjacent. Okay. Supplementary means they add to 180. Okay. Now, vertical angles. I feel like you guys learned this last year too, right? Okay, it's okay if you don't remember. Vertical angles are angles whose sides are opposite rays. Okay. Side note, something that's very, very, very important. Vertical angles are always congruent. So please have this written down and draw that picture, and we're going to talk about angles that are vertical angles. Amazing. I asked for these to be in a pile, and they were in the class that didn't use them. Made a mess of them.
Are my angles perfect?
So perfect. Okay, here we go. I'm going to zoom in on this picture. Are you ready? No? Okay. Okay, I'm going to call this angle 1 and angle 3. I'll get the others. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Angle 1 and 3 are vertical angles. Angles 2 and 4 are congruent because they are vertical angles. Now, this is how I like to remember it. Vertical starts with what letter? V. So we have two lines and the V's, like it makes like the two V's for vertical. Jonah, you had a question?
Yes. Do I go clockwise? How do you?
I just pulled these out of thin air. I just named them.
Wait, so it doesn't matter.
No, they're going to be labeled for any picture that I give you. They're going to be pre-labeled. Since I drew this from scratch, I just labeled them. Okay. Okay. What is what? 24.
Are you recording this video for Jack?
Well, and someone else is missing. There's 3 people missing today. So we can say, hey, Gavin.
Hi, Gavin.
Hey, Jack.
Hi, Dalton.
Hi, Dalton. All right. Okay. So here we go. I want to talk about some pictures. So I want you to notice that Sometimes supplementary angles will be adjacent, sometimes they will not be. Sometimes complementary angles will be adjacent, sometimes they won't be. Now, if complementary angles are adjacent, then there will be this cute little box signifying that we have a 90-degree angle. Okay, so here we go. I want you to draw this picture. Draw that picture. Jake, what is one thing we can say about angle 1 and angle 2? They are complementary. These two angles, we know they add to be 90 degrees. Okay. Who said how?
This has the box.
Yeah.
I thought that was
So if this is a 90-degree angle, then these two are complementary. Because they need to add angle addition postulate. This angle plus this angle is going to equal the whole angle. Okay. I don't know. That's where I wrote comp. So if the measure of angle 1 equals 62 degrees, then how do we, raise your hand, how do we find the measure of angle 2? Stella. 90 minus 62 to get angle 2 to be 28 degrees. Okay. Sometimes I'll give you cute little numbers. Sometimes I'll give you cute little algebraic expressions that you'll have to set up an equation with. Okay. Yes, we could say that angles 1 and angle 2 are adjacent. That is correct. Okay. All right, I would like right next to it, we're going to draw this picture. Wait. I know, I'm waiting. Okay. Right next to it, draw this picture. No, I will wait. We have plenty of time. So right next to it. Shh. Okay. Tyler, what do they form? Well, we're gonna say linear pair, but yes. Okay, did you all know what he meant when he said line pair? Yes, you did. Hey, the word shut up is not allowed in my classroom and you know it, don't use it. Now, if the measure of angle 4 is 47 degrees, then to find the measure of angle 3, we will have to subtract 47 from what?
138.
Made a complementary angle.
Oh, it did. And it looks so great. I was giving you a compliment. Okay, you can roll your eyes. That's fine. All right. Okay, so go ahead and turn the page. Okay, so here is just a visual reminder for you that adjacent angles are going to have a common side which means technically they have a common vertex. Okay, so these two angles are adjacent. These two angles are non-adjacent, is what we would say. Non-adjacent, not adjacent. Aiden, just worry about yourself. Okay. All right. Now here's another visual. These are a linear pair. These are a set of vertical angles. So in this picture, 3 and 6 are congruent because they are vertical from each other. 4 and 5 are congruent because they are vertical from each other. Okay. Now we're going to draw a picture below right here in this notes area. Okay. So please follow along with me. Please draw a horizontal line. Please draw a line with negative slope. Label the angles that I did, 3, 4, 5. And then in the blank angle, we're gonna have angles 1 and 2, which I am going to mark as congruent. Okay, my
No way.
okay, I went ahead and labeled some points A, B, C, D. We're gonna draw some conclusions, okay? So I want you to just look at that picture for a little bit. And we're gonna just like write a bunch of things down that we know.
Wait, could an angle be 2 different things?
What?
Could it be vertical and something like it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The point B is the vertex of where they all meet.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Okay. All right. So, Carson, give me one thing that you can draw a conclusion from that picture. Okay, which means 5 and 3 are congruent. 5 and 3 are vertical angles, so we know that 5 and 3 are congruent. Okay, cool. Colton, what's something else we can conclude from this picture?
Angles 1 and 2 are congruent.
Okay, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. We know that because we have the cute little things. Now, I need somebody to describe what ray BC is.
It's a bisector.
True, it doesn't have an opposite ray, but because angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent, BC is a bisector to angle ABD.
Is in the middle.
This guy right here.
Looks like an 8.
I'm sorry.
Sneaky.
Okay, Paxton, what can you tell me about angles 4 and 5? Angles 4 and 5 are supplementary, and we know that because they form a linear pair. You need to know that term, linear pair. You will have to use that phrase, linear pair. Okay. Drew, is there another linear pair up here besides angles 4 and 5?
1, 2, and 3.
I like that 1, 2, and 3 do add to 180. But when I ask for a linear pair, I only want 2 angles. So angle 3 and angle 4. Do you see how that's aligned? Angle 3 and angle 4 are also supplementary because they are a linear pair. Now, I really like that Drew brought up the angles 1, 2, 3. Yes, angles 1, 2, and 3 add up to be 180, but we do not say that they're supplementary because supplementary is only 2 angles at a time. Complementary, only 2 angles at a time. Okay, so thank you for bringing that up so that we can talk about it. Okay.
Thanks, Drew.
Okay, you and your elbow partner are going to identify true or false statement here. Give one to your neighbor that you don't know. So it's you guys.
It's like, what was your word? My name is, but you can call me Boss.
All right, you have a piece of paper, you and your partner, talk about true false, talk about true false.
Do we write on these?
Yeah. You can write on them.
Or it'll be another class.
You guys are my only class.
Yeah, that's the right. Also, this. Alright, Jason. I really know. You have to. Don't, to me, Jason, you don't like. What's the first one? It has to be true.
Okay, 30-second warning.
I did put on. The last one. It was no what?
The black green.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Smokey. BFD. Okay. And so here's the deal, like on your test on Friday, and like, I don't know if you've noticed, but I give you a lot of like either journal work or worksheets, so you can actually like write on the figures. Use your pencil, use your highlighter, I don't care. But if you get a picture, I never want to see that it's just blank. Use your pencil, use your highlighter, okay? BFD and CFD. CFD. Raise your hand for true. Raise your hand for false. Paxton and Addie, why do you say false?
Adjacent doesn't mean that.
Adjacent means they're next to each other.
Yeah, it doesn't mean, it means they share, it doesn't mean they're,
They share side.
they share,
Yeah, they share.
they share FB.
Okay, what's
True.
Yeah.
It says when they share side.
but have no common interior points. Hey, people, they share no common interior points. All of these points right here are in the interior of both angles, so they're not adjacent. Okay? This is how we learn. Okay. AFB, never trust Jonah. EFD are vertical angles. Who said true? Who said false? Okay. Emily, what made that false to you?
I thought that was false because FDs are very, and make them vertical angles when they have to be AFC instead of AFB.
Okay, if we talked about FC, then we would have two pairs of opposite rays, okay? But we don't have the two pairs of opposite rays. Very good. AFE, AFE, and EFD are complementary. Who says true? Who says false?
The last one?
Okay, instead of complementary, Tyler, what should it be? Okay, and Evan, what? Be quiet. I didn't ask you to talk. Evan, they're supplementary, but what's also special about those two angles? How else can we describe them? Starts with an L. Linear pair. Okay. Ben, two angles that up to 180 are supplementary. C is first in the alphabet. 90 is smaller. Okay, you're rolling your eyes and laughing as I'm trying to help you. Yeah, that's rude. Ignore them. Okay, I have a worksheet for you.